All right, in this video, we're going to cover the customer submission portion. That basically, now that you've gotten the bill, or actually I'm going to go a little bit through how to get the bill or what to say. And this is going to be exactly the paperwork and the process you need to submit these bills to get the bidding process started so that we can, build you a nice book of business, and so that more importantly, you can get paid on it, all right? So obviously you've watched in the presentation, you see the exact kind of the model that we talk about. You're gathering info, submitting it. We help you close the deal. We help you get paid. And then hopefully if you like the entire process, you continue to repeat it, because what we reward, or what is rewarded, usually gets repeated. All right. Now, let me kind of go back and give you this. Now, I've mentioned in the videos before, we've talked about the 8-second question. Now, when you're trying to get a bill, most of the time it's going to come down with relationship first and foremost. You're going to have to be somebody typically that people know, like, and trust. That's what makes commercial energy so lucrative if you already have some existing relationships. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go out and get trained to go out there, but cold calling is a little harder typically if you're not familiar with it or have to do it. Most people who are looking at this already have a handful of relationships with business owners that they can go tap into. However, we have seen this question, this statement, this question work time and time again for years and years and years. And the question is, if you were to walk in, as an example, to a business owner, and they were, you were just having idle chit chat or whatever, and you walked up to them and you said, hey, oh, by the way, I don't know if I could help you or not, but if you'll give me a copy of last month's utility bill, I can have them analyzed for free to see if you're being overcharged. Probably two easy words for people to remember, especially business owners, are the word free and overcharged. They like the free, they do not want to be overcharged, okay? So this basically, this should get your foot in the door to at least get some dialogue going, to where they might be open to getting the quotes looked at and things like that. Okay, so let's just move on from here. Okay, and we'll do some more videos on potential training down the road. Now, where these forms will be in existence is you can do this manually right now. I'll show you. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to cover the manual procedure, and then shortly we will have in the back office, you will be able to just go in and automatically process it through the back office by just typing it into the software that we have in there. But temporarily, we have you doing the paper submissions, and it does just exactly the same thing, and it's probably just as easy. Okay. Now, if you'll notice that if you go to your username, bidpoint.net/your username, you'll be able to click on the login button up here. And then what will happen is, once you logged in, you'll see that there'll be a button up there, or a tab, that will allow you to download the forms that you need. Now, currently, you really only need basically one form, which would be the request for pricing form that you would fill out with the customer. This would be your business, so if you had Dan's Taco Palace that wanted to be, get a bid for a quote, you would use this form to fill it out. Now, in other cases, in some of the bigger billing accounts, the bigger bills, like a large manufacturing facility, maybe some cities, hotels, hospitals, things like that, some of these larger accounts will take a couple other pieces of paperwork. One would be an LOA, which we call the letter of authorization. This allows us to go back and kind of view the previous purchasing history of energy. And then a letter of representation, basically allowing us to get full disclosure from the customer, that the suppliers are allowed to really look at all the data so that they can actually make accurate bids on what they're what's being submitted. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now these forms kind of up front and close, personal. So let me exit out of my PowerPoint and go straight to the form. So this is basically what the form looked like. So once you download it, it's going to be a PDF. You may notice that if you click this button here, some of it may be in blue, and the purpose for that is just kind of some people like it like that, some people don't. But if you click on it, it'll make the blue go away. The nice part about these forms is these forms can be typed on directly from your computer right here. Okay, so you would go in there and you would type in Dan's Taco Palace, and you may not know that place, but that's okay. And then you would put in the address, 64 or 6588, 65488, and then we'll go over here. Now, sometimes if you have the fields in there, when you click the tab button, it'll jump right to that portion. That's kind of why I like to have the fields highlighted. City, so let's say Columbus. State, Ohio. Zip, and then a website. So if they already have one, so you can say tacopalace.com. That's something good for maybe the people at the home office that need to maybe, if something's doesn't come up correctly, instead of them having to call you or get a hold of you, they might be able to look it up real quick. Contact info. Well, Dan's Taco Palace, the contact info, that is actually Lisa Smith, because she is the CEO of the corporation there, and her email is Lisa S at Taco Place. We'll just go to tacoplace.com. Okay, so what would happen is, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you can obviously see how it is, what it takes to fill out a form. So you go through here and doing business, you want to go down to the entity, doing business as. This would be where you would put Dan's Taco Palace, but then the legal business name, because this is what's going to come up on the the actual statements and the credit checks and things like that if that needs to be done. So it might be Dan's Taco Palace LLC that you would have to put there, because it may not come up as Dan's Taco Palace because of who's the billing is going to. Okay, and then you would get their employer ID and everything like that. Now you also would come down here and you could type in your electricity, natural gas, or both. If they currently have the pricing, you could click any of those or both. And then if there's any notes that need to be taken, you can put those in here. You say they are up for new pricing in the next 2 weeks. Okay, and then whatever notes you might want to put down here, you're welcome to do that, and you can keep going, and this will extend it into what we've got. And then this is important. You want to make sure that you put your BidPoint representative information, so your name would go on there, along with your phone number and your email address. Okay. Now, once this form is completely filled out, what you can do then is you would go up to wherever you would save the file. So usually at the top of your computer screen, you'll go up there and click Save As, and then what I would do is save as Don's Taco Palace, the form. Okay, that's how I would probably submit it, save it, and boom, there's the first form. So if you had this along with the bill, you could then directly submit those to the email address I'm about to give you as we go through this. Now, I did mention that, and now I do want to cover this real quick because I don't know if I've had this in the previous videos. BidPoint, as we've mentioned, BidPoint is the marketing arm of the group that we're growing, and we do all of the marketing and the sales force and so on. Avion Energy Group is basically our supplier portal and the business entity name with all of the people that are doing all of the bidding for us. And these are all people that have done this for multiple years, over 6 years of successfully bidding multiple, tons and tons and tons and tons of successful closings of energy accounts. Okay, we're using BidPoint combined with Avion. I believe is going to scale extremely fast because of the process that we're using. If you understand this, that we're able to take with the BidPoint sales force and the affiliates, we're able to go out there and get the bills faster than pretty much any other process out there, because most of the bills are going to be acquired because of the nice relationships people have with them, and then Avion, because of the contracts that they have with all of the suppliers in the multiple states and their experience, will expedite and speed up this process so that we can continue to do what we're good at and they can continue to do what they're good at. All right. So all that being said, let me close this one. I'm going to show you the other form here. This is the letter of authorization. Request for historical usage. This does not necessarily have to be filled out in most cases on billings, but like I said a little earlier, if you have larger accounts, again, you're going to probably be requested to do this. Okay, but if you can get this, if you think it's a fairly decent sized business, and I'm going to show you some examples of the size of accounts you might be looking at that will probably need a letter of authorization. It wouldn't hurt to have this filled out so you don't have to go back there and get it done again. It's okay. So, and pretty much same information is going to be on here, and a lot of it will be, and again, you can highlight it so that you can jump from, by clicking the tab button, go tab, 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 and put whatever you need down. Okay. And then once the authorization's there, we're going to have them sign that and so on. I believe on PDFs, a lot of times with Adobe PDFs, you can have a digital signature here, but you may want to just print some of these out and write them off, because it's still going to be at this point we're still going to just use paperwork to get the submission in currently until the portal is finished with the branding. All right, and then the last one is just another letter of representation. Again, they would fill this information out, letting us know, because Avion is the name of the Avion Energy Group, is who the suppliers deal with. Okay, so they're not going to see BidPoint; they're going to just see Avion Energy Group, and that's the same with what your customer is going to see. So then you go through, hit up your authorizations, no, yes, whatever it might be. Again, save these forms once you've finished, have them all taken care of, and now you're submitted and you're good to go. Now, after this process is done, we're going to, let me go back to the PowerPoint. We're going to go to the forms. Once you have your forms submitted, so as an example, you have maybe a small or medium-sized business is probably just going to need this and the billing. A couple examples of the last month or last couple months. Wouldn't hurt to get a handful of bills if you can get your hands on those, because that'll give us more accurate pricing, history pricing, that they can get those quotes done. But obviously when we have huge accounts, things like the hospitals, refineries, manufacturing facilities, that's a bigger project. But just as long as you have the right paperwork, it can all get taken care of as fast as we can get it processed. So let me jump onto this. This would be the email address you're going to want to send this to. RFP, which means request for pricing, at avionenergysupport.com. Obviously they'll have your BidPoint ID. You would want to put that in the email, let them know that what you're doing and who you're submitting it to. Okay, so let me keep going here. Once the bill is taken care of and you actually get the pricing back from the suppliers, this is similar to what you're going to see. You're going to get, you as well as the customer will be given some example of some pricing that they've offered, and this is just an example. This is out of Spec Gas out of Philadelphia, and you can see here that there are different ones in this energy provider here, that the ones that decided to bid on this project, this supply, they're offering that, and you notice that they give a 12-month, 18-month, and 12, 18, 24, and 36-month projects. Now, the other thing to consider is in some cases you're going to see that maybe some different billing, different suppliers may have a cheaper account longer term versus what a shorter term one might be. Okay, and they will post those out. So we'll highlight those. And again, these are going to be something that you come right back to your customer, say, hey, this is what we found. This secures you for, let's say, you go over here and this is a 36-month deal at 0.09. It's a pretty good deal for them, and that's best pricing in that category. And hey, they go with it. Okay, and you can see it's a pretty simple process. You get a you go out and use the 8-second pitch. You get the billing. You fill out a little bit of paperwork and you submit it, and we help you get that taken care of. And I think that if you understand the potential of how this money rolls month after month after month and compounds in most cases, because it's what we call long money. It's not just residual, but it's long money. It builds. And with what Avion has helped us do with a 91% retention over year after year after year of customer submission and renewals, it's an exciting opportunity. So again, thank you very much for watching this video, and be on the lookout for the rest of the videos. And anything we can help you with, please don't hesitate to ask, and we will see you at the top.